What's up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Past the Pop Culture. Today's going to be Season 2, Episode 6. We're going to be discussing Lost Ark and the Nintendo Direct, from last week, kind of going over some of the games, some of our thoughts, and of course with Lost Ark, kind of give our first impressions, and then give it a good little review, see if you guys should play it or not. But with that being said, my name is Ricky, and I'm with my co-host, Mr. Fen.
Yep.
And let's get into it. Okay, so I think I first want to talk about Lost Ark. I think that would be the easiest thing to go over. So I guess the first impressions for you, Fen, because I'm more of a hater. So
Me
you
first.
seem to like
Should
it.
we do like the negative side first?
No,
Um,
no, no.
I've been playing it since the 8th. Um, I like it, but the more I'm playing it, I can see the flaws, and I know that this is a heavy debated topic if it's pay to win or for convenience or whatever. I haven't really gotten to that point.
Hmm.
And like most people that are saying like it starts off really really slow, I can kind of agree with, but it's like, oh, it's because everything's an end game, and I'm not there yet. I'm only like level like 40. So but so
Hmm.
far the only reason I kind of keep playing is because just like purely because of the combat. The story I could care less, to be honest. I just spam G.
Yeah, if you tell me what's the story, I'm like, bro, I don't care. It's not good.
it's
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 just
it's it's mainly just go talk to this person. This person tells you to pick up something, and then you go put it back, and then you go kill some things, and then that next person tells you to go pick up something. It's like it's a vicious cycle, and
it's
I
fetch.
don't.
To me, it's too fetch questy. It's just,
Yeah,
oh, do this, do that, and I'm just like, okay. And then when they do hand you the lore, it's just like, I don't care.
yeah,
Like, it's not good. Like
yeah, yeah.
it's like it's not particularly bad. It's just it's your generic, like, it's just generic. That's it.
It's generic
It's
like
not pain.
BDO.
I
Like,
wouldn't call it painfully like generic or anything, but it's kind of like they give you the option to skip over it. Yeah, some of the cutscenes are kind of cool and like rendered cool.
hmm,
Or scene transitions, I thought they were pretty good. But yeah, for the most part, I don't really care for the story. I'm just like, just let me just punch these dudes and then get out of here.
yeah, that's
Um,
that's the
and I
general.
think that seems to be the general consensus from what I've seen online. Is that, yeah, okay, the story's kind of weak,
Hmm.
but I don't know. It's hard. It's hard because, yeah, some people play the MMO for the story, and if you're one of those dudes, you're not going to get it here. It's nowhere to be found.
Unless it's like the end
Uh,
game stuff, because I know like the more I'm doing, it is kind of cool. But then like after thinking about it, because I was telling Angel, I was like, oh yeah, there's like a part where you're like literally like in like a war, and like you have to raid a castle, and like you go in like a one of those tower things, and it's like, man, this reminds me of like the Lord of the Rings video game, because like they show like the whole army, and like you're going against like an army of yourself, and it's like that stuff's cool to me. But it's like, that's kind of carbon copy of a another game I used to play. It's like, okay. And like even right
yeah,
now, it's
yeah.
like there's a lot of similarities,
Mhm.
and I find myself just like only caring about the cutscenes barely. But it's just story, not the game for me. I don't know, which is bad.
Okay. Yeah, I think it seems to be kind of there's division among, like, oh, whether the story matters or not. I think story does matter. I think, then why put in a story?
Hmm.
Like if you're gonna try to like have us sit there and watch the cutscenes and stuff, I can see why they reward you for watching the cutscenes and following along with the story. Because, yeah, it's I was kind of hoping like the story was pretty good, but yeah, I mean, I don't really play MMOs,
Hmm.
and I don't really play MMOs for the story. I liked World of Warcraft stuff, when we were playing that for a bit,
Hmm.
um, or I should say when I was playing that game with you for a bit, and I was like, oh, okay, this is cool. I like this. Like, I actually was reading the quest and stuff, and I
Hmm.
was like, oh, okay, this is cool. And then I was like, so I like that, but it's yeah, it's just it's not Lost Ark in general just doesn't do it for me. In terms of combat, I thought the combat was good, but
Hmm.
again, everyone's like, well, it's Diablo like, so it's like, well, just play Diablo. You know what I mean? Like if it's one of those things where it's like people are just saying, "Oh, well, it's like Diablo. It's a really satisfying thing." I'm like, well, then just play Diablo. I mean, it's for free. So, I mean, I don't, for me, it's like the hard part with MMOs is why is this worth my time? Why do
Mm-hmm.
I have to spend so much time on it? And if it
Mm-hmm.
can't prove that, then it's lost to me. I guess no pun intended. But, the, I just find it kind of like, okay, well, why do I play this over Warcraft or Final Fantasy or New World? You know,
Mm-hmm.
like what, like, and I don't feel like it's outside of it just being straight up free. There's really just like no incentive to play this. Like if you're just looking for a free MMORPG that you just want to go in and play, or
Mm-hmm.
you just
Waste
you
time on.
haven't been around the block, yeah, then like yeah, go try. Like I'm not really a big MMO guy. That's the only
Mm-hmm.
thing. So it's like for me, it's just like okay, like it's just there. If I paid money for this, I'd be pretty upset.
I would too.
In terms of like the product that I
Even though technically I
got,
did.
but it's yeah, but right now it seems to be sitting at a mixed review on Steam though. So
I
people are
saw
saying
that.
it's getting review bombed, but it's mainly because of what happened at launch. Because
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people were writing poor reviews for it because well, they couldn't even get into the game. And then that set up kind of like a whole debate like, well, should you give a game a bad review because you couldn't play it? I would argue yes, if the game is like, but it depends. Like, okay, they didn't set up servers because everyone has seen like those indie games where you can't even start them up and you just paid $10 for it,
Mm-hmm.
and the launcher just keeps crashing. Like, yes, you can give it a bad review. That is why you use that bad review to let people know, hey, you can't even start the game. Of course, they've ended up fixing it and stuff like that. I don't think I would have like day one just started taking a fat dump on it because I couldn't get into it, especially because it was just mainly
Yeah.
servers.
Yeah.
If the game itself was just unplayable, like it just had like an ungodly frame rate and
Mm-hmm.
just like was just crashing and stuff, then yes, then I'd be like, yes, give it a bad review. If it's just servers, it's just more incompetence. Amazon, like I mean, it's incompetence as in like you just weren't for it. Like I'm not saying they're just like dog water developers. I'm just saying this is Amazon. They have their own web services. They have their own servers. They published a RPG before. Lost Ark has been around for a while. I feel like they should have anticipated that there's always a problem launches. That's the thing though. There's always a problem on launch. But I think for whatever reason, this one just ended up fumbling more than the rest because I remember like when I mean, New World came out not even not too long ago, and they struggled because they had to open up new servers and people were upset and like so people weren't able to play on the same servers with their friends because they're so
Mm-hmm.
overpopulated. The queues were literally tens of thousands of people. It was a mess.
Oh,
I was really
yeah.
hoping. I think. And then so since Amazon, this was their second shot at it, and I think people just didn't have the patience for it this
Mm-hmm.
time around. I think that's just what it was. Like the first time, I think a lot of people were like, "Okay, look, a New World. It's a brand new IP. They've never really published anything on this scale." But I mean, granted, this is the second most downloaded game now on Steam,
Mm-hmm.
so there is gonna be some queue, or there is Lost Ark, I should say, is the second most downloaded. But and so there was gonna be some sort of problem there to be expected. But yeah, I was kind of hoping like they would have fixed it a little sooner because they were like, yeah, servers are open at 9 Pacific Standard Time, and then what? We didn't get until like 2, 3 o'clock, like a
Yeah, on
few minutes
Friday.
before we started, and
Yeah.
then we were streaming, trying to get in. We had to say like update, get back, in, and then because the launcher takes so much time, it's like you have to hope you can get in, and it's a big hassle. But I can't take a dump on the devs necessarily, more rather than like Amazon's probably just like whoever's just handling like who was the guy that was like, yo, maybe like 10 people are only gonna play this game,
Yeah, like who
like
fired that guy? Like,
yeah, I was like, that's what I was thinking when I was like, I don't know. It's hard to anticipate. It's hard because it's one of those things, but yeah, like it just kind of like I think they fumbled it twice in a row and it just didn't make people happy. With me, I
yeah.
didn't really care. Like it's like, okay, I'll wait. I'm
Well,
not
it's
gonna
it's
be
mostly
like
like EU like issues because I know for we're west and like we
mhm,
hardly had any issues. Like even when on the first day, there's like hardly any lag. I mean, there was still lag,
mhm,
but like we couldn't make our characters on our own my original server. What's it called? A
mhm.
con. If you want to go
Yeah.
follow us there. Anyways, but yeah, so but like in EU, there's like queues of like hours, and like there still is, and
Hmm.
like they've been trying to fix it, which is at least good. But I think maybe
Yeah.
they just like underestimated like how bad people wanted to play.
I feel like there has to be some sort of sign up thing like, hey, if you want to play the first day,
Hmm.
sign up for it. And then like you get a queue assigned to you already or so. There has to be some sort of like way to determine how many players are going to play day one.
Well, see,
That's
that's the
like
thing,
somewhat
because
more
they had
accurate.
the
Like there
early
has to be.
access thing. So it's like
Hmm.
I'm wondering if not many people bought like the early access, because that's the only thing I can
Yeah.
think of. But like on Tuesday, because yeah, the 8th, Asmongold was streaming to like almost 500,000 people. And so if I
Yeah.
was Lost Ark developers, I was like, I was like, maybe we should kind of start working on the service now, so that way on launch day
Hmm.
when it's free, that number could double, and it pretty much did. And that's why like
That's
a million concurrent players, but like they did nothing in between that Tuesday and Friday. That's what I don't
Yeah,
understand.
that's tough though because it's like how many of those people are actually going to go on and try it? I mean, I'm
Hmm.
willing to bet like even like if like a quarter of them or 10% of those people went
Hmm.
on to go and play the game, that's still a lot of people.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know how much because I don't know how like how much Amazon is controlling, the devs at Lost Ark in terms of like how the servers are going and publishing here
Hmm.
and stuff like that. And also too like I don't know how much game companies in the East care about the streamers or especially American streamers.
That's
So
true.
it's like because they probably just saw like who's this Adams McGold, whatever, what's his name,
Yeah,
dude?
as
Like, okay, I
good.
like yeah, he has like 500,000. Like, okay, that's cool, dude. Like, I don't know how much they care, you
Hmm.
know?
Hmm.
You
I
know,
never thought about
like
that.
that's the thing. I don't know how much they care about like if there's a lot of people playing their game on Twitch. Because like here in the United States, that's very important
Hmm.
is to make your game streamable
Yeah.
in terms of like like that's why like games like Warzone, Apex, Valorant, League, they're all popular,
The
and a
people
lot of people
games.
get into it because they watch their favorite streamer and their
Hmm.
favorite personality online play the game, and so it's one of those things where it's very important here in the West. I don't know how important that. I don't know what it is like culturally over there,
Hmm.
if they care, if the game companies care or not. Not to say all the game companies here do care because there's been big fights just trying to get people to like play music on stream or to even
Yeah.
just show your games in general. But historically, we've seen Western companies adapt to it a little bit more rather than
Hmm.
like Eastern companies tend to be a little bit more reserved. Like that guy who basically would review all the Dragon Ball anime episodes, and you got like hundreds of episodes of his or hundreds of videos taken down, and then
Hmm.
like Nintendo, when people were starting to stream their stuff, they were trying to knock that down. So it's like I don't know how much they care about
Hmm.
the Western base here in general, and someone like Asmongold, whether his numbers even matter to them. So they probably I'm willing to bet no one looked at the numbers and was like, maybe open up an extra
I
server or
kind of, yeah.
two.
I have to agree with that, because
I
even like the live interview that they did before launch, the main guy,
mhm.
he's like, "Oh, I'm expecting like maybe hopefully we barely reach 200,000 concurrent."
Yeah, and probably
So
just
that's
because of
low.
Asmongold, 200,000 people probably
Yeah.
went
So,
to go play the game because of
mhm.
him. Like I don't think many companies have like really seen the power of streamers and people like just online personalities,
Mhm.
shilling for their game basically for free. I don't want to say shilling, but they're showcasing it.
Mhm.
But like a lot of people really like these games, and like because whenever I see a game on here and I'm like I really like, I'm like play the game, play the game. So it's like it's like because you just enjoy it, and so like there's a lot of power to that. And but yeah, like that's just something that I think is kind of interesting. Like I don't know how much they care, but yeah, I mean in terms of score, I give it like a just overall like
5?
5 out of 10, 6 out of 10. I mean it's meh. The only redeeming thing is like the quality of its like just basic gameplay in terms of
Yeah.
just its combat. Really, that's the only thing I
It is pretty
enjoyed was
fleshed
just like
out.
yeah, like spamming that and like doing all the stuff. Like yeah, that's fun, but like like enemies are generic. I don't really expect them to have like these cool enemies. Like that's a lot to ask from an MMORPG, but
Oh,
you
but they
know,
do, Ricky. That's the thing.
really, because
I know you only played, like 4 hours or whatever, which is fine.
hmm
But from like I'm
it
level
just I couldn't
40.
care. Like, oh,
Yeah.
it's like the same bandit that you fight 100 times, and I'm like,
No,
okay,
now it's
or like
demons.
yeah. And I'm like, well, it's a lot to ask from an MMO, and that's the thing. It's a lot to ask for like varied enemies and stuff like
Mhm.
that because it's all really been done before. I guess my problem with Lost Ark is if you played an MMO, you've played Lost Ark, and that's the
Yeah.
thing. It's the same. It doesn't step up to the plate in terms of like trying to be better than anything. It is
Mhm.
what it is, and if you enjoy what it is, you're gonna like the game. I guess
Yep.
that's the best way to explain it. It's like
That's a hundred
if you
percent
like
accurate.
MMOs, you're gonna enjoy the game. If you're trying to get someone into MMOs, do not have them play this game. Like I don't see
Yeah,
like
I could.
it's I
Yeah.
mean it's for free, so yeah, you can have them play it, but like it's I don't know. I would say like I mean, as much as I don't like Blizzard, I would say something like World of Warcraft is a better gateway to getting people into MMOs. But I don't want you playing World of Warcraft right now
Play
because of
Final
all the stuff
Fantasy
that's
instead.
going on. But yeah, or like Final Fantasy is probably a better gateway drug to the MMO,
It has everything to
uh,
get you ready. Waifus, cat girls,
ecosystem. Yeah, but it's just one of those things where it's like I don't know, just I don't know,
a
just there's
five
something about lock.
six.
Yeah, 5 6, dude. It's just the game's incredibly boring. It's just so cliche. It's just exists, man. Like I wouldn't call it painfully mediocre because it does its job and it does its job well in terms
Mhm.
of like why people go to an MMO.
Mhm.
Like combat, and just monotonous questing. But like
That's low.
it's like yeah, no, I just did not enjoy it. And if you enjoy it, that's fine.
Mhm.
There's I can see why someone would enjoy it. I see why you enjoy it. It's just that like for someone like me who's just naturally just not gravitated to MMOs, you will just find it boring. Like yeah, like I'd rather just boot up RuneScape. I'll have a blast playing RuneScape, but like I don't know,
It's even
it's just one
worse.
of those
You
things.
like the simple games.
Yeah, I mean, I liked New World. I had a lot of
Uh-huh.
fun playing that. I just stopped playing it because they just didn't update their game.
Yeah,
So I
too
was
bad that
like
game
starting to go
died.
through the stuff, and yeah, a lot of it kind of just died. And I was like, well, I guess like, but
It'll be
I
interesting
enjoyed
how
that.
fast this game dies, or if it dies. That's what I'm curious about.
It's free, so I don't see it dying like that
Mm-hmm.
quick. I can kind of see like this holding up for some time. The problem is that now there's so much variety in the MMOs that you can play. It's just like this is a dime a dozen game. That's the thing. I guess that's what it is. For me, it's like none of these MMOs really stick out. I
Mm-hmm.
liked New World because at least they tried doing something a little bit different in terms of like the theme, but again, it's still kind of just like magical island and this and that. So it's like it's just hard because it's like how do we make these things kind of like a little different, a little unique? And it's like it's not any fault of like the developers. I think like it's just I think it's the inherent nature of MMOs that I'm
Mm-hmm.
just not gravitated towards. It's the same reason why it's like you when I tell you, hey, look at this cool like strategy spreadsheet game. Essentially, you're just like, I don't get it,
Yeah.
and then it's just one of those things. It's just like
That's
it's
why I
just
don't go
not
to
for me.
school. I don't need no
Yeah,
spreadsheets.
yeah. I mean, yeah. So it's like, wow, I play my nerdy, world games and stuff like that, and a lot. It's
I'm a
very
Giga
niche.
Chad with a big sword, slicing and dicing demons, and
Yeah,
having a waifu butler and a cool magical horse. That's what I need.
and it's just I want there to be a good MMO that I really like will get into and play for hours. But it's just they have a lot of them have no reason to exist because the other MMOs to come before it did the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's what it is. It's like I'm having a hard time contemplating why this game exists. In terms of like, I understand like over there on the east, it's probably like super popular
It
and
sure
stuff like
is.
that. But when you have popular, MMOs that have been around for forever here in the United States, it's like, well, I don't really, because I don't know how would you play like all the MMOs one at a time. Like
You
that's
can't.
to me like that type.
Like
Yeah,
imagine
like
playing
so
New
I feel like
World along with this game, along with like World of
Final
Warcraft
Fantasy.
and Final Fantasy. Is
Yeah,
like you don't have time for that.
it's yeah. So like I think in terms of competition, or competing for the player's time, I don't. I only the only reason why I see this winning is because it's free. If this
Mm-hmm.
wasn't free, I don't know how many people would have like bought it. I don't know. It would
It
have
all
still
depends.
done.
It all depends on the end game content though, because
Hmm.
I don't see like if whatever they have now, because I know it's been out for like 3 years or whatever.
Hmm.
I think that's why kind of people are playing it because there is a finish line. So,
Hmm.
in most MMOs like World of Warcraft or Final Fantasies, World of Warcraft, there is no finish line because they have like the RNG piece of junk system and all that. But here it's like
Hmm.
everything's already laid out. You can do this to get this. You can upgrade this to get that. Blah 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 blah.
Hmm.
And then like the only like RNG I haven't did it myself, but it's like the what's it called in Diablo? They're the greater rifts, where it's like each time you go in it's
Okay.
different. And so like they have that.
Hmm.
So like this whole game is that's the only thing I don't like is this whole game is based on only end game content. Like the story, I don't think is gonna matter once you start grinding out the same thing over and over and over and over
Hmm.
again. So it's like I don't really see
Yeah. I mean
people kind of
that's the
starting.
hard part for me is because you're telling the player to put an upfront cost
Hmm.
to enjoying the game by getting through all of its mediocre content before it actually gets
Yeah.
good.
Hmm.
And like that's hard for like I think just looking at it from like a time perspective. If I had
Hmm.
all the time in the world, then this would be a fine game. But if I
Hmm.
don't really like want to just spend all that time just getting to the end game content to
Yeah.
decide if I like it or not. And I think that's the hard part inherently
Hmm.
for me to enjoy an MMO, where it's like, no, if you get to level 60, and then now we can start doing this dungeon, and then we have to RNG it so that we can hopefully get this good piece of armor, so we can start to finally PvP or something. Then it's just like, okay, that's like it's too many. It's like I just want to enjoy the game from the get go,
Yeah.
and
You
that's
want
hard.
everything
Like
now.
yeah, I mean, it's hard to ask the players for that upfront time investment, but
Hmm.
it's free. So it's one of those things like I'll probably hop on here and there, if I just want to play something MMO like, then yeah, like I think that's fine. But in terms of just like keeping me, I can't really say. But I don't
Five
think the
six.
review bombing is fair to it necessarily.
Yeah,
But it
it's
also
stupid.
I understand that there's people that are like upset, and I get it. I would be very upset too, like if I really was like, because it was frustrating trying to get in for like New World. It was
Hmm.
super frustrating. We'd have to
Oh
wait in like a
yeah.
5 hour queue, and like it's just so annoying. And that's because and with that is like I'm just not like I was willing to go through it because I haven't played an MMO in so long,
Hmm.
and so or like on launch day I should say. So then I was more willing to go through it. But now I was just like I'm just not like just put me in the game,
Yeah,
okay? Like
if you
like
had to wake up like at 5 a.m. and then still wait in queue for 4 hours like I did, I'm not gonna play
yeah,
that
like
game.
you had to like
I woke
that's
up
kind
like
of
at
hard.
7 a.m. and then by like 12 p.m. it's like, oh, I can finally
I can,
play.
yeah,
I don't
I
know.
can see why people would get upset,
Yeah,
but I don't
I
review
give this
bomb it. Like,
I
I'm not gonna
yeah
go on Steam and be like, "This game is bad because I had to wait." Like I don't think I
it's
would
like
do
Coney
that.
River.
But it's
Go
perfectly
play
reasonable
Fortnite.
to be upset. I wouldn't go and like negatively review, but I don't
Hmm.
really go around reviewing, like, or I mean, I go around reviewing, but like I wouldn't just go and like be like, "No, I don't like this" on
For no
the on
reason, I guess.
itself. Yeah, like we're discussing it here, but like I'm not gonna actively add to its negative score. I don't know.
5-6 is a negative score, Ricky.
Well, no, I'm not going to
Oh,
give
you're
it a
not.
negative
Oh,
score, as
okay.
in like I'm not gonna go on Steam and like vent, like you know what I mean? Like they have like those
Yeah,
like 3 paragraph essays of why the game's like
how
utter
hard their
trash
life
because like
is, and
I couldn't get into the game. Like there's some people that are pretty upset. Like
it's
I'd be
like
like, it's okay, man. Like
you need therapy,
but
kid, if you're venting online. Anyways, I give it like a 7-8.
yeah, really
It might
okay.
change at end game. I don't know. Once I get to, because I'm rushing it, so we'll see what happens. It might get better. It might get worse. I don't know. I'm trying really hard not to spend a dime on it though.
Yeah, well, let's be honest here, Finn. That's not gonna happen. But
The only reason I'm
yeah,
not getting it is because Elden Ring is coming out next week, and I don't know if I'm gonna keep playing it.
and then we don't know if the servers are gonna get fixed for that too.
And
What is
Elden,
servers lately? Why can't we
I
just have
don't
servers that
know.
work?
That's
It's
what I don't
just,
understand. It's like people know we play these games with other people, and that's the first thing that stops working. And it's like
I
indie
mean,
dev, by the way. It's like, come on, guys.
it's not, it's not the easiest thing to keep servers running sometimes, but.
I mean, if you're
Things
Amazon,
happen.
this should not be an excuse.
Yeah, Amazon. Yeah, I think that's why I'm giving this a harsher review because it's like Amazon, like is trying to push this through on us. So it's just like, yeah. But anyways, let's get into the direct because we'll be here all day
And
with
even
Lost
worse
Ark.
news,
But
Nintendo Direct.
yeah, the Nintendo Direct. It's funny because this one I wasn't such a hater on. Fen's the hater here,
It
so we're
started
kind
off
of
so
flipping.
bad. That's because that's the first game we're gonna
Okay,
talk about too. I'm gonna talk about this.
Fire Emblem Warriors,
I was skeptical and
Three
I was
Hope.
like, all right. And then they showed this first game. I was like, this is already
You
washed.
don't like Fire Emblem?
No, I mean, okay, I like Fire Emblem, but the new one, Fire Emblem Warriors Three Hopes, is basically Hyrule
Mm.
Warriors just with Fire Emblem.
Yes. Okay. Like so. Yeah. It's just more hack and slashy. Yeah. I mean, I've been wanting to try one, out
Not this
and
one.
see if I like it, but I don't know. I almost bought Three Houses,
Hmm.
but I never. I just never pulled the trigger on that one. I never bought it. So I just never knew if I'm gonna be into it or not. But from the people that played it and that I know, they seem to
Mm.
enjoy the Fire Emblem series. But I don't
It's a
know.
good
It's probably
game.
one of those things. Like I'm probably not gonna get it. It's just one of those series that you like it, you don't kind of thing. And
If it's not in
it's
Smash,
like
who cares?
it's, yeah, most of my interactions with these characters is through Smash Bros. So
Smash.
I'm like, and me just being like, why is this character in the game? But that's neither here
Uh,
nor there, though. But Advance Wars, I was kind of interested in that 1+2 reboot camp. That one,
hmm.
I was kind of like, okay,
Have you
I
played the
enjoy this
original
kind of games. I
on Game Boy
mean, I
Advance?
played it. I mean, I remember it very vaguely. I don't remember even owning it.
I
I
was
just think I probably
obsessed.
just I remember because I think I remember you playing it, and
Hmm.
then I think I probably played a little bit on your Game Boy Advance. But I've probably I think I played like the Flash ripoffs more than anything.
Oh, those are good
That's
too.
probably yeah. So there's yeah, and there's been many of like spiritual successors to the series.
But
In
it's
terms of
never
like
Advance
other devs are
Wars.
just trying to like kind of replicate that, but
Hmm.
it's and I was enjoyed those, so I'm interested in picking this up. It is a remake, or
Reboot.
yeah, it's a remake, not a remaster, but it's a remake, and so I don't know. I wish they would just. I understand the reason why they're doing the remake because it's like, well, it's been so long, and then introduce people,
Hmm.
and then into the series, and then see if it does well, and then just try to plan out a whole brand new game. But yeah, it has like some quality of life improvements, which is gonna be nice, like speed up the combat and
Voice
just
acting.
make things a little bit quicker, and you can reset turns. Yeah, voice acting. Uh, and then I forgot what else there. Oh, like online multiplayer stuff, and you can make your maps and stuff. So that's cool.
Hmm.
I always enjoy when they add in like some multiplayer aspect like that. I don't really typically use it. I usually just play the campaign, and then kind of just go on. But yeah, and then they have some other games like No Man's Sky coming out. You have the Assassin's Creed, the Ezio collection, some other Star Wars, The Force Unleashed. So they're kind of just putting like some stuff out there that
Hmm.
like just some content, I guess, on their stores so you can buy it. I'm not a huge fan of like Assassin's Creeds or like the Star Wars games or everything. I just
Hmm.
they're there. I think I and when I say I'm not a huge fan, it's like I just don't go buy it. I don't think they're bad games. I just typically they're not something I spend my money on. So
I
it's like
bought
I'm
these
pretty
and I don't
selective.
agree with them being on the Switch.
Early, yeah.
I don't know.
I always think it's interesting No Man's Sky because it tried being something it wasn't, and then they actually had their little redemption arc, you know.
It became a
But
good
I
game. Like it, I give
yeah.
them props, but false advertising, it's nothing to be.
Yeah, because I played No Man's Sky at the very beginning, like
It was
and I
absolute,
was just like, what is this? And then I
absolute
just
dog
never
water. Yeah.
touched it again. I don't
Can't
even
wait to play
remember
on the
what it was
Switch with
called.
2 FPS.
Woo-hoo. I don't know how well it'll translate over, but yeah, if it's like, hopefully we get at least a cool 30, just a cool 30, you know.
When there's
But
nothing around, you get the 30
yeah.
FPS.
Nah, no, I don't know. Let's just pray. Let's pray for the Switch. Just pray to the RNG gods that they decide to give this more frames, and like just some
Yeah, right.
smoothing and all that stuff, so it doesn't get so
Yeah,
stuttery. But
right.
they have Mario Strikers, so that seems to be pretty hype for most people. You know, you're not too much. I'm not too much into soccer. I would want baseball back. That's what I grew up
So,
playing more.
do you remember playing the soccer one with us?
I don't remember
Vaguely,
playing the soccer. I remember playing the GameCube
the baseball one.
with baseball one. Yeah, that's the one that I remember playing,
I
and
I
a
was
lot.
hyped. I was hyped about this soccer, but then it's like an
Hmm.
RPG with like you can upgrade armor and stuff, and like each armor has like different stat values, and it's like, nope, I don't want that. And they just ruined Mario Strikers for me. I mean, well, I'll probably just buy it because it's like a cool like party game. But it's like
Yeah, I
RPG.
enjoyed tennis when we played tennis and golf.
Mm,
They're always good. I think my favorite is just baseball, but I probably if I play it now, you know, I don't know how much I'd enjoy it, but I just remember really liking it as a kid, and it was a lot of fun.
maybe next year.
I still remember when they had that mini game. Oh man, it's from Mario Party, the baseball one. When we played it,
Oh yeah,
I really enjoyed that.
we
That
played that
was a
with
lot of
Ruben,
fun.
right?
So yeah, and so that was a lot of fun. That
That's
had no right being as fun as it was, and I played that with some of my friends too, and we had a
mhm.
lot of fun just doing that mini game mode. I'm like, I want like a full baseball, like please.
Maybe
It's
next year.
just Nintendo. I have no sway,
After
but
20
please.
more remakes, you'll get it.
Yep.
Bet.
Yeah, dude, with that, they're doing what's it called? Mario Kart 8 again for
Oh
the
my
100th
gosh,
time,
that
and they're
pissed me
like,
off so much. I'm sorry.
really? I
Oh
thought it
my.
was fine. They're not gonna let it die. I'd rather just
No!
have them. I
Make a
just
new
rather
one.
have it be condensed into one single Mario Kart, and they just like add on to that. I'd rather just have them do something like that because it's the same game over and over again.
Make a new one.
That's it.
Like,
Yeah, but it's just
hey,
if
here's
you
here's an
played
old
8,
game.
you
Let's add
basically
let's add 8 years of old maps. Oh, and you have to pay for them. And don't worry, we're not gonna
yeah.
make a new one. It's like, that's what pisses me off the most. It's like just nobody asked for a battle pass for Mario Kart. Just make a new Mario Kart every year or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like with Mario Kart, it's like you just buy one of them and that's it. You just roll with that. I don't feel like you need to buy the new one.
Yeah, I
It's like,
guess.
and you know, like when I bought like Seven a while back on the DS, I played that till like it
Hmm.
just got boring. But
Just make Mario Kart
yeah,
like a live service or whatever they're called. I don't
I don't know about that. But there's also like Splatoon 3 Salmon Run Next Wave, which is a mouthful to say.
know.
I don't. I'm not. I don't know how to feel about the Splatoon series. I don't really play them, nor do they
Hmm.
like. I want to play them. I just think they're there. I think it's kind of cool that they've been kind of bringing it back, and it seems to be like a lot of people are happy with more Splatoon content because I know that for a while a lot of people were upset that Nintendo was neglecting Splatoon. So I don't know. I it's like a wave shooter, so it's just
So this is like game number 3, right? It's not like an expansion or anything.
yeah, I'm not. I think it's just the next in line of the series. I thought it
Okay.
was kind of funny when they came in on the helicopters. I was like, "What is this, Call of Duty?" I was like, I don't know. It gave me a chuckle because I was like, because they came in, you saw the helicopter. I'm like,
Yeah.
"Is this like a military game or something?" And then it was
Maybe
like, "It's Platoon," and
maybe
it gave me a
maybe
good laugh.
maybe
I
that's an
enjoyed that.
Easter egg for Call of Duty finally coming to the Switch, like Microsoft wants them to.
Mm.
There
Don't
you
say
go.
that now. Everyone's gonna be like hunting down, like, "Oh, what does the helicopter mean in the Splatoon trailer?" Yeah, but
Director's
that's
like, it's
coming
just a
summer
helicopter.
2022. Yeah. So it's just one of those things where I don't know. I'm not gonna play it, but I think it's always cool when they're supporting like the other IPs that are kind of
Hmm.
like newer. I just like it when it's just not Mario for the 100th time, like they're actually doing their other stuff. But one thing that I am interested in is Front Mission First. It's a remake of like a mecha tactical RPG that came out
Hmm.
like in the 90s, I think.
95.
Yeah, 95. Yeah. So I don't know. I saw it. I'm like, yeah, I'm probably gonna play that. I'm always a sucker for tactical RPGs. I've never really. I'd have like I was telling you, fan, like I have like a really, really like back of the brain memory of this. Like I don't
Hmm.
know, it looked familiar when I saw it. Like and then I don't know. Maybe I must have seen probably like some old like YouTube video on it or something like that. Someone
Maybe.
probably did a review, and maybe that's what I think. But I'm like, I could have sworn like I played something like that before. But you know, it's I could have just played another mecha game and thought it was that. But I am highly interested in that. I don't know about you. You seem like, oh yeah, it was kind of
I
like
can't
a.
remember if I played it or not, but I'll probably skip it.
Yeah, and then but it's coming out during the summer, so a lot of these games are coming out pretty much from like spring to summer time. It's just there's just like a whole
It's like the
like
half year.
some yeah, it's like yeah, it's pretty much from now to like summer. There's gonna be a few games coming out. Of course, like there's like Chrono Cross, which I saw that they're doing like a remaster for that. I thought it was kind of interesting that they decided to potentially go with, or not potentially, but they are going with like you can skip encounters,
Yeah,
which is interesting
interesting. Yeah.
to do for an RPG, and I wonder how that's going to play out. And for that alone, I kind of want to know. But yeah, because I don't really know much about like Chrono Cross. I believe it's crossed with like Chrono Trigger. Like there's some thing there. I don't
Chrono
remember. I remember someone
Cross.
saying that, but yeah, like I'm not 100% sure. Like it's kind of just in that kind of like family of series. I think that's what it is, but I'm not.
Hmm.
Don't. That's not gospel. I'm gonna have to look that up. But I remember. I maybe it's just the name just as close to it, but it's not like a direct sequel or anything to it. It's just it just
Chrono
has the Chrono name in
Cross.
it. But Kirby in the Forgotten Land still hyped.
Still hype. Yep.
Coming in March 25th. That's pretty much like the main thing that I'm looking for.
Oh shoot, that's
Uh,
next month.
yep. Really looking forward to that. It looks awesome. They showed off some more gameplay. Him eating the car
Car
was
Kirby.
amazing, and I'm just like, just
I hope that game's good. It's multiplayer, right?
yeah. I believe it's multiplayer. Has like multiplayer capabilities or something like that. I'm really looking forward to it either way.
Play that in stream or
I want to
something.
play it. Yeah, that'll be fun to play on stream. I think. There's was also another one that I'm pretty hyped for is Live Alive, or Live Alive. I'm not sure how it's supposed to be pronounced. I think it's Live Alive. I'm pretty sure that's how like I've seen everyone else say it. So, but that one I was pretty hyped because I'm always a sucker for that Octopath like 2.5D or like not even 2.5D. It's like that HD 2D
Uh huh.
like just pixel art. I'm always a sucker for that. So like whenever I see those kind of games, I'm like, you already got my like money. Like it's pretty much like that. It's like I don't care. I'll play you for like a couple minutes. I just like the art,
Oh
and
my
so that one
gosh.
again is July 22nd of this year. That's coming out. So apparently it was only released in Japan on the
Hmm.
SNES. I think yeah, and then so uh, I've
Okay.
always kind of like seen it here and there when people are like doing those like oh games only released in Japan that are like really good. You know what I mean? Those kind of YouTube
Mm-hmm.
videos, and I've seen it before. I didn't really know much about it. But yeah, I'm glad that they're bringing over some of these like old series that were released in Japan, but they never had a Western release. Because like they did that for like another visual novel, uh, and
Which one?
then they had how was it Trails of Mana? I think that one was only Trials of Mana. I think that one
Was
was
it?
only Japan as well, and they brought it here. It
Hmm.
was something like that. But I always like it when they bring Japan exclusives and
They
finally bring
should.
them here, even if it was like 30 years,
That
or
means we can
whatever.
get that
Like,
Konosuba game. Konosuba. There's a
yep.
Konosuba game only in Japan. It's just
Yeah.
like
Wait,
I don't
what
know what
is
the
that one about?
I don't know what the game is or anything, but Japan has a game where it's like for Konosuba for the Switch,
Hmm.
and like they even have like a Switch designed for Konosuba, but it's only in Japan.
What? I'm gonna have to look that up.
Yeah, and it's like
After we finish this, I'm gonna look this up like
yeah,
right now.
and it's
But
like all
yeah,
right.
yeah, I'm always a sucker for these. Again, like Live Alive's another like Octopath Traveler game. I'm always a sucker for that, and
Mm-hmm.
I just I like how it kind of like spans different time periods and stuff like that. They're gonna have multiple stories and stuff like that, and I don't really want to look up like reviews because then it gets a little bit spoilery sometimes. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm like I'm just gonna go in, but yeah, that's definitely my hype. So if you have played it, drop your review. Like just let me know. Was it good? Is it bad? Should I spend my money on it? But spoilers free, please. But yeah, that's if you're listening on YouTube with us. But there's Nintendo Switch Sports also coming out, and I thought that was interesting. That they're bringing basically Wii Sports back. They're adding in a few more
Yeah,
games like badminton and soccer and
Quinn's really
uh,
excited for
like
this one.
yeah. Um, I don't know, man. I'm not gonna really like.
Hooray!
If I play it, I'll play it like at someone else. I'm not gonna. I mean, I'm just probably not gonna like. It's just I'm not gonna play it on my own or like
Yeah, it's another party
download it
game
or get it.
essentially.
Yeah, it's a party game. You know, you get it so that when the friends come over and you got a little something to do. And I'm like, yeah, and so that one's coming out. Oh, but I was gonna say though is that there's a online play test which is February 18th to the 20th. So we should probably let Quinn know about that.
Oh, it's this week.
Quinn's a fellow streamer that we are friends with. So yeah, and we'll probably maybe that'll be kind of fun. We should do a collab. We like I was
Yeah,
gonna
we'll
say
have
Wii
to.
Sports, but Switch Sports. We should do that because there's some cool games on there, but I wouldn't go out of my way to play it. Like if I'm just gonna be by myself
If you want to see us
and
sweat,
like
let
just play
us
the
know.
game. Yeah, it's what like a never mind. But there's a triangle strategy, which I just okay because I saw this one a while back, and I know they had like some demo,
Mm-hmm.
and every time I see it, it gives me a little chuckle. They named it Triangle Strategy. Like I thought it was like a code name for it, but that's the name they're running with, and I love it. I love it. Everyone's like, everyone's like, ah, yes, my favorite game, RPG
Triangle.
pixel. Like it's just I get a kick out of it. Like, because people in the comments are like, yes, boy with sword strategy game, or like it's just like it's I love it. Like it's just people are like it's so on the nose and people are like clown on it, but people are like, but seriously, this game looks pretty cool. Again, it's like an Octopath game, so Octopath pixel art game, that kind of style. If you played Octopath Travelers, you know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like that HD 2D. Again, I'm always a sucker for that, so I'll probably at least try out the demo, which if you play the demo and you didn't know, your data will transfer over for when you buy the game. So there's really
cool.
just no reason not to try it or anything. You know, there's a lot of cool stuff that you can probably get to try out in the demo and see if you like it or not. But yeah, I'm probably going to try the demo out if I remember. But the last and final thing I want to talk about, which is very
The
interesting,
best for last. Huh?
is that they finally brought, yeah, best for last, they finally brought Earthbound, which I just thought that was interesting because it's like everyone has been wanting Earthbound on the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
And they were just like, "Oh yeah, anyways, we're bringing Earthbound," and they're like, and they left, and like that was basically it. I was like, "What?"
All right, see ya.
I was just kind of like when I saw it, I was like, "What? You're bringing Earthbound back?" And it's just like, "Oh yeah, you can play it now." Like it's going up on the Switch online service. That's it. Thanks, guys. And I was like, "Yo, like what?" And like everyone was just like, "Oh, okay, cool." Like I was just like, everyone's been screaming for this game to go on, like for Nintendo to just even acknowledge this game outside of Smash Bros.
Mm-hmm.
And then now they did, and then I was just like, okay. And I'm just like,
Next.
I know, I'm like, what? Like half of everybody in this room has been screaming for that game, you know. It's like, and then now like it's here, and I'm like, I'm glad it's here. I'm gonna go play it on the Switch stuff. I mean, I played it. I've been playing it, but that's cool that they brought the original as well,
Mm-hmm.
the one on the NES. I don't know why they didn't bring the third one out.
There is no third one.
There is.
There's only one and
Lucas.
two. Oh. Okay.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, it's
Is it still
and
Earthbound?
it's still in like, well, okay. From what I haven't played that one yet, but from what I understand, it's like his cousin, and that it's like a separate story. It doesn't follow Ness.
Because I thought
So
it was
yeah,
only Earthbound 1 and 2.
yeah. I mean, it gets complicated because then it's like Earthbound here is like Mother 2 in Japan, from what I understand,
Oh,
and then
okay.
so it's the Mother series, but it's Earthbound here, and so it's a little complicated and a little convoluted. I'm not going to act like I'm sort of authority on Earthbound, so but I'm kind of like I'm like, okay, this is really cool because it's like the last time they had Earthbound was on the new 3DS.
Phew.
That was or they had like that SNES like mini that they sold for like
A week.
yeah, and I'm like, and it was on there, and that was it. Like, so And especially with how like influential Earthbound has been
Mm-hmm.
with some of the most popular games to come out. I mean, shoot, what's his name? Undertale.
Undertale, yeah.
One of the most, arguably one of the most popular indie games like to ever be conceived, and
Period.
like it was, yeah, like, and like to be, it was inspired by Earthbound, and yeah, I mean, Earthbound's a tough game for some people to probably get into just because of the graphics alone. You know, I
That's
bet a lot of
old.
people
It's
look at that
old.
and it's like, I like how ugly it is,
I
dude.
know. I
It's
like it too,
ugly and
but
it's
it's old.
amazing. It's so, I know, but some people are like, "Oh, I don't want to play that." I mean, like, look at it. There's like 5 pixels on that screen. I mean, it's not, but
They're
you know
gonna
what I mean.
say,
Like,
"Man,
it's
we
just,
thought Pokemon Legends had bad graphics, and they play this one."
yeah.
Same
So
people.
I'm kind of tempted to just do a run on the on my Switch and see how it goes. So yeah,
I would
I
too.
think that'd be
I
fun.
haven't played this game. To be honest, I
I don't
don't
know.
think
It'd be
I've
cool to stream. I think that'd be fun. I think that's something like I would stream,
speedrun it.
like just playing Earthbound. You know, you probably can. I wonder what the speed running looks like on that. That'd be interesting.
I don't even
But
know if
it's
there
yeah,
is.
it's like it's kind of like just if you haven't played Earthbound, it's just kind of like a quirky, like just ragtag team of kids just going around fighting. Okay, well, no spoilers, no way. It's like it's just fun. It's a cool little thing, and I would play it if you haven't played it. Um, yeah, that's pretty much what I got to end on. But yeah, I can't believe we finally got Earthbound on there. That was very interesting.
Yeah, it
I
took
was
100
like,
years.
there was yeah, it was just like it came out of nowhere, and I was just like, why now? I
Hmm.
maybe I don't
That's the
know. Maybe they
question.
I would I want, and that's why I was saying like I want to see if like maybe they do like a 2D HD remake. Like you get like Square Enix on that. Like get so it's like
It
it's
took
like you get that cool like style and like they update it and stuff so that people will probably not look at the game and think like wow that's like hideous. But
Earthbound
yeah,
NFTs. Anybody? That's the next step.
no. Wait, I'm gonna look that up. I 100% believe that there's an NFT out there that is inspired by Earthbound. Let me see, Earthbound NFT.
Is
Yep.
there?
Oh, I hate that, dude. I hate that. There is someone. Oh my gosh.
I just ruined Earthbound for you. I'm sorry.
Are you serious? That some guy just screenshotted the enemies and just put that as an NFT. That should be like,
Isn't that
isn't that
copyright?
copyright infringement?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
like
literally
isn't that
copyright.
copyright
Report him.
infringement? Okay, whatever. No.
Get rid of his
Yeah,
funds.
they just straight up ripped it off. That's
Nice.
all they did. They just probably ran an emulator, screenshotted their screen, and then just put that on as an NFT.
Dang, breaking news here, huh? Nice.
You want to know how stupid thing's going for?
How much?
0.05 Ethereum. That's $145 for a screenshot in the game.
You gonna buy it?
That's no. I refuse.
I can't believe that.
Point 0.1 Ethereum. That's 291. Oh my gosh, dude. For Starman.
I can see the disgust in your face.
Yeah.
My
Oh
bad.
my gosh.
My bad.
We're ending the podcast, guys. All right, I'm done with today. Thanks for listening, guys. If you enjoyed what we were talking about or want to continue the conversation, check us out on Twitch at Past the Pop Culture. We are live Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Typically between like 3 and 4 Pacific Standard Time, and we usually go for a few hours. Typically, we've been playing Halo. So if you want to come by, talk about games, tell me why I'm wrong about a certain game and change my mind, I'm willing to talk about games or anything you'd like. Really, and then of course, we have our I was trying to think whatever it is, but it is our Instagram also as well, where sometimes we post when we're live if you want to know when we're doing that. So that's at Past the Pop Culture. We also have a Twitter when we let people know that we're live, which is Past Pop Culture as well. And if you're listening to on YouTube, if you drop us a like, comment, let me know what are you hyped for, and just have a little conversation going on, keep it going. And yeah, I think that's it. Yeah. I'm gonna go cry now. I'm gonna go cry about that NFT project. It's not a project. It's just you just screenshot the game. I'm gonna
Okay.
cry about that.
Say bye.
I'm gonna bye.
See you guys later. Oh, Ricky.